survivors, warriors, my extended family. Today is a very important day. And when I mean important day, I'm going to reveal some behaviors that people are engaged in right now during this time of lockdown, COVID, total uncertainty going on in the world. And so what we want to do with what I'm about to share with you is we don't want to bring the guilt with us. Ooh, I feel so guilty over what Dennis is talking about. That's me. No. What you want to do is you want to be able to relate and go, you know what? I am in fact doing that, or I do see other people doing that to me, and now I can tweak my response. That's what it's all about. Because right now, we need you. We need you, warrior. Humanity needs you. And we can't go about our lives right now in such a low vibration of fear. We must replace this by recognizing some of the things that we're doing that is harming us and others. The first behavior that I'm noticing in people is suppressed anger that may be directed to you for no reason. Do you realize this is happening? Is there somebody out there that you feel like has a certain amount of suppressed anger that is directed towards you? I know I did. I know sometimes when I'm online and I post something, I can really sense when someone attacks me in some way, that there's a certain level of suppressed anger there. And I feel for that person because I know deep down in my heart that it has nothing to do with me. And it has everything to do with that inner chaos that the person's going through. So what you want to do and what I do is respond with understanding and love. Respond with understanding and love rather than getting caught up in that person's negative energy. Because it's our job to bring those people with us to a place of understanding where we can heighten our vibration and the energy that we are outputting into the world. These people matter, and we cannot get angry at them. We must understand them, and we must be understanding of what they're going through right now. The second behavior that I'm noticing during these times is a lack of certainty that may be leading us towards franticness. So many people in the world are feeling a lack of certainty. I just feel like I'm walking on, bricks that are very unsteady. And these bricks, the more unsteady they feel, the more I feel like I may drown beneath where those bricks are. And so we understand the feeling that people may be going through right now in terms of the lack of certainty that they're feeling. What we want to do is become aware of the opposing possibilities to the negatives. And sometimes it's easier said than done, and many people out there do a very good job of convincing themselves that the negatives are too strong and that they don't have the skills or the personality or the strength or the courage to be able to view the opposing possibilities to the negatives. But this is all false. False information coming from the ego and survival mind that always wants to redirect your attention to what could go wrong in your life. We mustn't succumb to these ideas. We mustn't succumb to these feelings, warrior. Let me tell you something. Uncertainty and the world of the unknown can bring about tremendous positives. If only we can begin seeing them. So begin seeing them. The third behavior that I'm noticing is there's a feeling of being misunderstood. Does this sound like you? You're going about your day, doing the best you can with people, online, offline, but you don't feel understood by others. There's a feeling of being misunderstood. Beneath that misunderstanding is a program that's running. A program that says no one will ever understand you. And this is based on past experiences in childhood and adulthood that continue to follow us in our mind, bodies, and spirits. So we must understand that this is nothing more than a program, and our job is to respond by becoming open to seeing the situation from their perspectives. If someone doesn't understand you, you may want to look deeper and say, well, why is that person not understanding me? Does that person have such a foggy view of reality that they can't even be open to the idea of understanding another? It's possible. If you go through enough anxiety in your life, you will be met with a certain amount of depersonalization, derealization, and confusion in the mind. And so, if we feel misunderstood, we're going, well, there are things that other person is currently working on, and that's good, right? I don't have to internalize this misunderstanding anymore. I'm doing the best I can. And even though we were kids and we were doing the best we could, and we didn't get the love and the understanding that we craved, it's okay. Because it taught us valuable lessons about the world. It's never about us. It's always about what others may be going through in this particular context. The fourth behavior that I'm noticing is a certain amount of grieving for the world. Grieving for the world. And it's difficult not to grieve for the world. It's difficult. There's a lot of theories out there. There's a lot of facts that support those theories. And on the outside, it looks like things are falling apart. But what you want to do is you want to respond with faith in a force that you can't see or fully understand. So many people out in the world need to be able to see something to believe it's true or there. And this is a big problem. It's a big problem. For example, you walk by somebody, right? And there's nothing to see there, but there is a communication going on as you're walking by that person under the level of conscious awareness. There is this energetic give and take. And so we have to understand that our faith needs to grow. And we need to understand that if you look at nature, for example, there's a lot in nature that you can't see. There are auras coming from the trees, and the bushes, and the branches. And so there is a certain amount of energy there that is unseen. And yet we trust the energy when we are around nature. We must as well trust the energy that is currently rising in the world right now based on this great awakening that is going on in the world. So, just because you can't see something or fully understand something doesn't mean it's not there. The other behavior that I'm recognizing is people's needs to control what others are doing. You'll see it over and over again. People are getting frantic. And so, because they have a lack of control over themselves, they're looking to control other people, looking to manipulate other people. And our job is to fill them with your beliefs and let them decide. That's it. We mustn't look to control other people's minds. We must provide people that are currently not awake or still asleep with information that may open up their minds to new possibilities. And when we share this information with them, we mustn't push. We mustn't force. Because the very thing that keeps a person from healing is that forceful energy that we look to implement. You'll see it all the time. Affirmations. People look to listen to 1 million affirmations a day without truly believing the words that are being affirmed or acting on those affirmations. So, warrior, if this is the case, and you find that there's a certain need to control what others are doing coming from you, don't. Stop doing it. And instead, fill them with your perspective and let them decide. It's the best you can do. Because if not, you're just going to be wasting your own inner resources and energy, and that's not what humanity needs right now. Finally, some people are becoming silent. They're becoming silent based on the current happenings in the world. They're suppressing emotions deep within them due to not knowing how to deal with the situation. You know, it's kind of like back in childhood where something happened, right? And we were overwhelmed. We didn't know how to deal. So we went silent. And we scattered back to our comfort zones or comfort peoples. And we cried or whatever it may be. But here's what I want to tell you today. I'm talking about humanity a lot. And I should. And I need to. It's your opportunity, warrior, to be expressive. If you ever looked for a chance to express what's going on in your mind right now, this is it. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is your time. Have a voice. Be expressive. And stop being silent, suppressing all those feelings deep down into your subconscious mind and body. And it does take a certain amount of courage to be expressive rather than be silent, because it goes against who you believe you are. But let me tell you something. Fear is the artificial version of you. Anxiety is the artificial version of you. Panic, this non-faith and uncertainty, it's all an artificial version of you. The natural version of you cooperates. The natural version of you is understanding and loving. The natural version of you doesn't look at your past and say, I wish it would have been different. The natural version of you says, I have learned the lessons from my past. I am growing and maturing mentally each and every day, and I am in a beautiful transition. So again, if you're one of the silent ones, it's time for you to break out of that shell. Be expressive. This is your time. And I want to finish with this. Heighten your vibration. Fear is the lowest vibration, and it's time to wake up out of it. If I could just fill you with a little bit of courage to look some things in the eyes that's going on in the world right now, and for you to be able to question things and see them at a deeper level, I've done my job today. I urge you to have a voice and to learn from some of the behaviors that you may be engaging in right now that is harming you and humanity. I love you all. Have a wonderful day, and remember that you are more than anxiety.